Hey everyone, Dave here with Projects Around. We got another project today we're going to work on. I already took the door off, so I'll go over here and show it. What happened is the screen had gone bad, and the kids were hitting the door and they were putting their hand through the screen. So we'll show you what we're doing here. Got to repair this too. I'll have to do that on another day because I forgot to get some door stops, some vinyl door stop. But that happens from the kids running in and out and slamming the door. If you guys have kids, you know how that is. All right, so here's a project. We've taken off the screen door. I replaced this last year with actually aluminum screening. I hate this stuff. Hard to work with, number one. Number two, real hard to see through on a screen door. The black works much better. But the kids had torn it right here. So Ray's already taken this one off. We pulled the beading off. And we'll show you the old beading. The old beading is bad and dry rotted. So it really doesn't take much to do this project here. Since we still have the dumpster from the roof job, we'll just throw that in there. You can see right here, the latch has torn through that. So there was one problem. That doesn't start bugs. Really all you need for this job, utility knife, sharp blade. Ray, we need to find the other piece that fell off in the tool bag. You got this is to roll the bead and get that in place. We'll show you that. And usually I just use a screwdriver as well with a medium tip on it. A flat-headed screwdriver is really all you need to do this job. It's not too hard. So we'll show you here in just a second how to get started on it. If you look, one end is got a groove in it, and that's to hold the bead to get it into place. The other end is more rounded over to then run the bead down. We'll show you how that works. You get that other bead?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the new stuff. All right, so here's the old bead, and if you kind of look at it, it's all frayed and starting to dry rot. And here's the new rubber bead. You can buy it in, depending on the size of the groove, you can buy it in different sizes, different widths or thicknesses. So Ray's pulling the beading out here. He's going to carefully just dig it out. Now, if the beading's not bad, you can reuse it, because on this door, I've reused it several times already. Here, you can throw it up. But this is probably about the fourth time that we've redone this door. If you've got small kids, you know how it is. Boy, they tear them up. Dogs, too. The dogs haven't been too bad on this one. This is the upper part of the door, but the bottom part down here, the dogs would scratch at it, and they had holes in it too. So it lasts about a year. Now you can stop it and cut it here if you want. We're just going to roll the whole door and get the beads in nice and tight, and then we'll go ahead and cut it afterwards. All right, pull that upper side. Pull your right up a little bit. There you go, that's good. That's good, go ahead and relax. All right, when you get it on here, you want to make sure it's square, not tilted. That it kind of lines up, because otherwise you'll get a funny look to it. All right, so Ray went to go get some clamps downstairs, some quick grip clamps, and I'll show you what we're going to do with these. This is the tool you need. I already showed you. Not very expensive. You can pick this up at any hardware store, and I can't imagine they'd be more than $10-15 for it. And that's all this tool is good for, is putting them beads in. But it's a really handy thing to have around. So if you're going to do this job, like I said, you'll need three things. Most people have a utility knife and a screwdriver. All you have to do is pick up that. These aren't necessary, but they, I figured instead of fighting, it's a little windy out, instead of having it blow all over the place. Alright. Alright, so we're not going to pull it yet. What we want to do is just get this end started. Use the V-notch end to get it started. Be careful that you stay on it. So Ray's going to hold the camera there. Just get it started. You're going to kind of roll that down in. What you don't want to do is push real hard, and because that's V-notched, you don't want to cut that screen. So just take your time here at the beginning, getting this in. And we'll get that pushed down in that corner. All right, so now with this, I like to pull it just a little bit. Now that doorknob's kind of in the way, so why don't we go ahead and remove that doorknob and make it a little bit easier. I'll get the drill driver and we'll remove this. Yeah, I had 2 speed clamps, so since it's a little breezy out, it might help as well. Now you don't want to pull it super tight. You want to get it snug. So we'll run down this side, okay? Then we'll go ahead and we'll pull it tight and run down the other side. Now making these corners, sometimes you need to take the screwdriver and kind of get it started. There you go. All right. Take the utility knife. A pair of scissors would work on this as well. Pull it back just a little bit. Cut the rubber. All right, so now let's start up here. Now this is where you want to make sure that you've got it tight both this way and this way. So we've got enough material here. Very lightly, because you don't want to scratch your door there. This stuff is super, super easy to cut. It is only plastic. All right, so we want to pull it. We want to pull it tight. We want to pull it this way, fairly snug, not super tight. Because what will happen is you'll cut or break it if you go too tight. And we'll put one right here. You notice I'm not yanking it, I'm just kind of pulling it snug a little bit. Take your screwdriver, careful, you don't want to tear it. So now I'm going to let off on that and let it pull this that way instead of tearing it this way. All right. Once we get that started out, we just pull that out. Now, like I said, it's a little breezy out, that's why I've got the clamps, but all you're going to do now, taking the V-notch head, you're going to hold it a little bit, get started. And it will pull it tight for you. There you go, just like so. And here's the beauty of it. If you don't have it right, you can pull the bead back out and redo it. You do it on the aluminum screening, and it's a one-shot wonder there. Because once you bend that aluminum screening, it's done. This plastic screening, you could pull that bead back out and re-stretch it if you had to. As I roll here, it's gonna pull it. See how it's pulling it tight? You gotta be careful when you do that, that you're pulling it from both sides and not just one, because what'll happen is it'll tear right along that corner. And you'll hear it tear. Yeah, it's pulling it tight. There we go. So that's not bad. Okay. Now we're going to pull it this way. It's got a brave. You can. I don't know if you can see it. See how it's got the bubble here, folks? If we can't get it to pull out that way, we'll pull this bead and we'll pull that back and get that tight. It's got a little bit of a bubble there. Okay. So you got to be careful around these corners here when you go to push them in, that you don't tear it. Sometimes it'll tear on you because, you know, you're forcing this screening two directions, and right on that corner, that'll split it. Okay, you can let go of that. All right. So take a look. Ray, bring it back up here. It did pull it out. Might be hard to see in the sunlight, but that it came and it bubbled up like that. So it's nice. It's uniform. If you pull it too tight, you'll see it. The lines will kind of go like that. It's nice and uniform. That looks good. That's where we want it to look. All right, so I'm just going to take my utility knife, and we'll just pull on that a little bit. There we go. Like I said, a pair of scissors works just as well too. And we'll take it and we're going to force that down with a screwdriver. All right, now you go with this end here, the rounded over end, and you get it all the way down on the track. Careful not to push against on this side and tear the screen. If you see, I'm keeping it over here because I don't care, because we're going to be cutting it off, so I don't care if it tears over here. Where I don't want it to tear is on this side. All right, everyone, there we go with that. So now, I don't like this corner here. I'm going to push this down a little bit. Like I said, you got to be careful with corners. You don't want to tear it. All right, so just take your knife, and Ray's going to show you here. Just very carefully, we're going to run it just inside the groove on the outer edge into here. Corners always stink. There you go. Watch your fingers. No trip to the hospital, get stitches. All right. Missed it there. All right, so there we go with that. Like I said, I'd much rather use this. My hand been right there. Ah, walking around, you'd be calling me Stubbs. You know where I learned how to do this, Ray?
I think you told me it was like some camp thing.
They, when I was in the Army on post, they had a facility where you could do crafts. It was really nice. They had woodworking shop there, metal shop there. They had all kinds of pottery shop, all kinds of crafts, and it was really nice that the military provided that for you. But they had a class because all the military housing had, you know, people had screens on their housing, and they had a class teach soldiers and sailors, airmen, Marines, you know, if you lived in on-post housing, how to replace your screens. So this is where I learned it. Hell, that was 25, almost 30 years ago. Actually, better than 30 years ago now. But that's where I learned how to do this, and it's an easy project to do. As you can see, just took us a couple minutes to get this top screen done. All right, so there we go. New screen put on. The missus will be happy. It'll last another year. The grandkids and the dogs will tear it up, and next year we'll do it again. But easy fix. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.